Yo, what is going on, everybody? It's your boy Sin. We're back for EBA Week 7. Today we were taking on Rein, one of my good buddies from the draft community, so pretty excited to play him again. I'm pretty sure I'm 2-2 against Rein, so this will be a tiebreaker. We're currently 5-1 this season, and if we win these next two, we're guaranteeing at least second. If Mist wins out his last 2 weeks, then we would be second. If he loses one of them, it comes on the diff. We have to get more diff than him because he beat us head to head week 2. But at this point, we are pretty much locked top 4. We might need one more win to get there, but I think we're there. We might need to win this week or next week, but we're most likely going to pick our opponent for playoffs, which is pretty nice. It's what we want. We want as high a seed as we can get because I don't want to get stuck with a bad matchup. Anyway, moving on to this one. Now this one, I finally think I have a pretty good matchup to Rein here. Rein's team is Palkia Origin, Terra Torrenti, Annihilate, Landorus, Incarnate, Heatran, Tyranitar, Gardevoir, Overhorn, Wellspring, Brambleghast, and Coughing. As for the 6 he can bring, I think he really has 7 Mons that could come into me. Top 6 and Ogerpon. I don't think Brambleghast could come. It could for spin, but I don't think you can really slot it. I think you lose too much. But I think an assortment of Palkia, Torn, Ape, Lando, Heatran, T-Tyre, and Ogre are going to be what he ends up bringing into me. So getting into what we brought. First up here, we got Kaz Lunala. This is going to be our lead for the week. Rocking Power Herb, Moongeist, Focus Blast, Meteor Beam, and Agility. 88 HP, 212 attack, 8 speed F, 200 speed, timid nature. I think his lead will most likely end up being a Corn to try and get his tear off. I think he will be like a defensive tear this week. If he's offensive, he'll be Terra flying. But this is a great lead to Terra flying. And then the only thing we really have a bad lead into is the T-Tyre, and we have a good swap to T-Tyre. So it's gonna be a lead. We're not scared of too much. Off the start, so we're gonna be Meteor Beam, rocking Moongeist, Focus Blast, Meteor Beam, and Agility. Because Moongeist Focus Blast is all I really need to hit his team. Meteor Beam, I want to have no item on Lunala if I save it, where I can spin block Bramble and I can be immune to his poltergeists. So set I was a no item, but I figured I can definitely find a set that I can get some use out of its item. I can be like a Power Herb or something like that. I can be, I don't know, eject pack, something. I will be able to find an item to get use and then have no item to where if it need be, I can spin block the Realm Gas later in the game. And the agility is there because I didn't need a 4th Moongeist Focus Blast. All I needed. So might as well put agility. If we are forced out off lead, we can definitely find situations late game where I'm able to get an agility off and then I can sweep. But it's for the most part, we won't be clicking agility. It's gonna be a Meteor Beam, Moongeist, or Focus Blast 99% of the time. But we will have to hard swap on a T-Tyre lead, just because we don't OHKO us, but have T-Tyre. Usually at +1, we have a really good chance to at that point we would swing. But our EVs this week, we're just creeping Annihilate. We live 2 Hydras from Modest Palkia if he leads with our shield. And then I should have the rest in this attack. It covers pretty much everything. Yeah, myself a little buffer room just finishing off. Didn't look for anything with defense. But yeah, that's all I needed here. Next one up in the matchup, we gotta go die the Garchomp. Running Rocky Spikes, detail speed, 240 HP, 2 defense, 8 speed, impish nature. This Chomp is just max because this is my swap into T-Tyre. And then it's also my main check to Ape. So being able to just take as much as I can, and without having to deal with 2 Mons, I didn't really see a need to try and get too specific with it. Defensive Mons, I tend to try to stay basic. It's offensive, I'll really try to get creative with the spreads, but for the most part, we're just going to be swapping into T-Tyre and the Ape, detailing APP sets up, setting hazards up in front of the T-Tyre, pivoting around from there. Isn't too much else I need to do with this guy. EQ is just there because it's a good click into most of his team. He doesn't love ground, like Ogre Pawn's switch in, and then his 2 genies, but I'm not saying it on either genie. And then Ogre Pawn, I'm just sacking the suit, and it's gonna allow for my win con to come in. So next up here, we got Step in Vossic or Quavel, running a leftovers, Torrent this week with triple axle, flip turn, close combat, and roost. 248 HP, 204 speed F, 56 speed, careful nature. This Quavel, we are just creeping min speed bramble gas. We have the rest in HP. We have max HP and the rest in the speed F. This is gonna be our swap into a heat train if it comes out. I don't really care about Willow because it's not really an offensive set. We're gonna be able to swing Axel on the Heatran to hopefully hit the Torn that's coming in. And then we also have CC that I can click to cover Ogrepon if I think. Offensive Quavel does look really good in him if I could get a step off. So I do think he will play to stop that step with the Ogrepon, and then a CC will do a good amount of damage, and then it puts it to a position where an Axel afterwards kill. So one Axel into a CC will kill a Quack. Um, Axel into like flip turn will kill Torn. If he's like a defensive Torn, if he's offensive, he does just die. But we have Roost there just to heal up, and we can consistently come in on the Heatran, as my team doesn't like getting burnt. So I feel like having a Mon that could just consistently come in, take away that Willow threat was pretty solid. I tried to stay clear of like contact moves on my main Mons this week because of that Heatran, but there's not too much else to say with the squawk. I don't have spin. I want to have spin, but with the ape there, I don't want to be triple axing too much. If ape's there, because once ape gets a if I hit him 3 times, I kind of just lose. So I have to be careful with that too. It's not the greatest thing ever, but it's something to be aware of. I can CC if needed. Flip turn out 1 boost, and then the world Garchomp can still kind of eat. So um, next mon up, we got Big Boy Moxie the Crocodile. We have speed for Torn at +1, and then I forgot to write down what we had for the invest. It's something about it was the Spadef first, and then I just put the rest into attack. It was either Calc from Torn, Heatran, or like Lando. It might be an EP from Lando, but I'm honestly not too sure. So we have one of the Spadef calcs. If it comes up in game, you will see. I'll barely live it, whatever. And then show the rest of the attack. So running Scarf Moxie this week with knockoff EQ Stealth Rocket Outrage. So at first, I had a scale shot set, and I thought it was really cool, and I thought it could actually work in the right positioning, because if I come in on like a low HP T-Tire or a low HP Corn, I can scale shot. I'll get my Moxie boost, and then I'll get the attack boost. And then from that position at +1, when I can swap my moves, it is pretty much like a sweep. I've knock for pretty much everything. I've EQ for T-Tire, for Heatran, Palkia, and then Ape, knock for Tor and Lando. And then I had I believe Gunk for the Ogre Pond. And then there's a position where like I could, after 1 Mox, I kind of just won if you didn't have a Scarf or any if you didn't have like Prio on Ogre or Bramble. I don't really think you could fit it, so it was consistent if I could get off, but it wasn't consistent enough to get off. I think it popped once in all the mocks, and I ended up dying to a helmet because I take a big hit. So I went Scarf instead. Rocks is there because I really need hazards in this matchup. My win con is pretty much dependent on hazards. Like all my calcs are after hazards. And this crook is kind of just there to get me out of a bind. I'm able to get in like Palkia if I need, EQ it, knock off on Torn, Lando, something like that, and then open up the end game and allow my mens to win. If that wasn't clear, as my win con. Um, Next up we got AirPods, the Klefki, rocking dual screens. Klefki again, rocking Light Clay with Prankster, Reflect, Spikes, Degleam, and Light Screen. 248 HP, 160 defense, 100 speed F, bold nature. We live 2 Fire Blasts from Palkia. If Light Screen's out, we live 1 without, unless you have the rest in the defense. I break Sub from Palkia. He really likes to run that, so I wanted Degleam. I also wanted Degleam over like Play Rough to be able to hit the Annihilate if he is bulking up. He's like a subset with Ape, and if I swap this guy in, it gets kind of scary. If I had T-Wave to try and hit him and I couldn't T-Wave, then it would get scary. But I went Deagle instead, so we can't get sub by sub on Palkia, can't get sub by sub on Ape, on Plot Torn, any of those things. Just trying to get around sub as best as I can right now. Rein is a guy that really likes sub, so I figured it was worth it. I don't need T-Wave too much in this game. The speed control's nice, but it's not super needed with my game plan. This is all I really have to say about Klefki. Pretty simple set. And then we move on to the most complex guy of the week. We have Owen Salmons. So, rocking heavy duty boots with Intim, Terra Blast, Flying, D-Dance, Earthquake, and Roost. 32 HP, 96 attack, 252 defense, 12 speed F, 116 speed, adamant nature. So, this means we live with Intim on this guy. We live 2 Ogre Pawn Ivy Cudgels into a Brambleghast Sneak if they're both max attack, and if their Brambleghast is adamant, I believe. We have our speed for if his Torn is Scarf crept down to Espeon, the outspeed of Scarf Espeon. We will outspeed that Torn at +2. And then we have 96 attack and adamant, gave us an Oko on Torn that's crept to Espeon. That is max. This is a weird calc, but if he crept down to Espeon, he has max defense, and he has the rest in the HP. He isn't boots. We kill at +1 of Terra Blast after rocks. So it's a really weird calc with Torn, but everything I was looking at, I covered with that. I need like 84, 88 to hit everything I wanted. And then I needed a little bit more to hit that calc on Torn, which I don't think will really come, but a very defensive Torn, I wouldn't be shocked to see with like a plot. So if could see like crept max HP into defense plot, bulky Torn with a Terra typing, like I was gonna say Steel, but I wouldn't say Steel. Like Fairy could become, he could go Terra Flying. So I figured want to cover that in case it happens. And then also just gives me like a little bit more buffer room if he ends up being like bulkier on his Lando or on his Palkia for the calcs I just crept to. So, and then I have leftover 12 into Splef. I tried to get more HP and less defense, but I needed max defense because it just, with my EVs being to take 3 hits in a row, the defense ends up covering it so much more than the HP does. Because once the calc increases by 1, it's actually increasing by 3, and then my HP is only going up by 1. So I should have to go max defense. This is a very solid win con. With screens, it essentially wins as soon as it comes out. There isn't too much you can do to play around it. I'm able to set up in front of Palkia if a late screen's up because I Terra. I take 50% from a Draco, I DD, and then I can Roost, and then he's not killing me unless he crits. So it depends on the scenario. If he has Prio, I'll do that. If he has Sand, I'll do that. But if he doesn't, then I'm probably just gonna either attack from there if I can KO everything at +1, or I'll go for a +2, live the Draco, and then win from there. But that's gonna be for the team builder. I kind of rumbled on during Lunala and Mence, but they were fairly like they were a lot more complex than the rest of the Mons this week, so I want to go into a little more detail on them. But yeah, that's gonna be it for the team builder this week. Don't have anything really to say for set pathing. I don't have anything into his Palkia or Torn because I don't really have any counterplay to them. Saw the same thing last weekend's Hunter's Palkia. Water, offensive water into my team is just super scary. And then Palkia O being like Dragon type, just like any real type complements it as long as it's not resisted by water, because then like SPF Quack could handle it. But the boost that Palkia gets with its orb, everything just blows up. So I kind of have to out offense it. Lunala's possibility to live 2 from Palkia, and then it's like get Lich up with Klefki, get Menson, and then hopefully win. Not too much else I can go for, but that's gonna be it for the team builder today. What is going on YouTube? It's your boy Sin. We're back for EBA week 7. We were playing Rein today. He is Terra Fairy on his Torn. We are going to see Palkia, Torn, yep. We see Ogre Pawn, Endo, Guitar and Heatran, okay. I didn't test an Ogerpon or Heatran at all, but I have my Immense path through Ogerpon, and then I have a Quack path through Heatran, so we should be covered on those bases. Terra Fairy Torn makes me think he's Specs or Plot Set. Should be leading my Lunala here. Whatever, should run it over everything in my team builder. Trying to get rocks on a spike up. We're getting our Immense behind the screen, and we're setting up on something. We will be able to set up on the Torn. We can't do it on Heatran because we can't risk Willow. We can do it on Ogre easy, we can do it on Palkia easy. He also has no Cryo, so I don't have to worry about that. I have to just worry with Sand Chip. Scarf Croak looks pretty good with knockoff once T-Tar is gone. He can't really risk switching T-Tar into a knock anyway, originally. Outrage isn't the greatest now that he has Fairy Torn, but I should be able to get around that fairly easily. I don't have Gunk, unfortunately, on him, but see a T-Tar lead. I'm just gonna hard Chomp. Do I hard Chomp? What do I lose if I just blast this dude? Hey, if he's Fizz Death, it's not a good enough chance. We're gonna hard T-Tar. He can set up his own rocks here, but I don't care too much. It's gonna suck not having Herb, or not having a Shadow Shield if he sets rocks here, but Chomp's a pretty safe switch in the sky. We're gonna see a T-Wave come out. Okay. What's in the back here? We're gonna go for a go for rocks first. We'll go for spikes next turn. I think we might just end up trading rocks here. Palkia could come out. Palkia coming out would suck, but I do have my Lunala to swap too, so I'm not too worried about Palkia. Palkia on Chomp is also a little crazy. Because if I am just offensive Chomp, you're not gonna have a fun time. Should land the come out there. Okay, so our rocks are gonna go up. I'm just gonna throw up spikes now. He doesn't have any removal. We're just gonna Bear Hazards up. Oh, so he's Sand Force. There's nothing. Okay. EQ. That's cool. Sand Forces. It's pretty cool. That's how I traded Lander to Rein. I was talking about Sand Force on him. Probably Scarf. Sand Force, EQ, and Sun. 256 minus 418. Or no, 418 minus 256. He did 163 to us. So that's, I guess that's Scarf. Oh, that's Sand Force. Sand is up. Okay, so it's not, that's Jolly. Okay. We can go for another spike. I'm gonna pivot out to Mence here. I do think he's Scarfed, based off the fact that it's Sand Force. He is definitely Jolly. We have We have rocks and 2 spikes up too, which is gonna be massive if he doesn't have a lot of boots. It's gonna be a very big chip on everything. It's gonna put T-Tire into Lunala range. It's Calc into +2 Lunala range. Not sure with the Heatran Calc. Here's like max HP Heatran into Lunala. So he's gonna stay in here. Don't do the most of Focus Plus. EQ comes out. Okay, I assume this guy's scarfed, so I'm gonna play like he's scarfed here. Sandstorm subsides. I'm just gonna fire from EQ. I think. I don't think you go Torn here. I think it's probably in the Heatran or T-Tire. One of the two. So I'm just gonna EQ. Torn isn't an option, I don't think. It should be Ogre, but I don't think you risk it. T-Tire come up, guys. So we're gonna get big EQ off. Super big chunk. Take a little bit of Sandstorm chip. It's not the end of the world. We're gonna go back out to our Chomp. And if he sets rocks, we are gonna get our 3rd spike up. Okay, he's just gonna set rocks up. I can go for spike number 3. I could detail predicting a swap here. Air Chomp. We're at 90. Fizz Def T-Tire. Guarantee KOs is a knockoff. Do I want to spike? Or do I want to take my chip? I want to EQ, I think. Because I don't have the greatest send out in the T-Tire. Whereas I'd much rather Torn come out. I'd much rather Torn or Lando come out, I think. Nah, I'm gonna sell spikes. I'm not a pussy. He's gonna stay in. I don't care. He can knock up. He's gonna take a lot of damage. He actually might kill himself. Is he dead or is he alive? He's alive. Okay, I'm gonna go Rook and I'm going to knock off. This guy's dead on switch it, so I don't think he will preserve it. What the freak just happened? Alright, we're gonna knock. He's gonna swap out here. Is he gonna go into Lando or Torn? Lando. Ooh, big knockoff. What are you? Give me your butthole. Holy damage. He is scared. Okay, I knew it. So T-Tire's dead to spikes here. The calc shows us that's in range. I'm going for it. We're gonna pick up the KO with Crook. It's a dead Lando. It's a nice KO to pick up early. We can get our Moxie boost. It's gonna be Ogre Pawn, but I think I just take my chip on the Ogre Pawn. Yeah. So that's a big threat down. T-Terror's also dead. His only real swap is Overfun here. Um, I want to take my chip on the Overfun. We have a chance to KO him. Now I won't KO his Falkia Origin. I mean, I might. Unless if he puts his extra 80 into defense. Okay, so I won't kill him here. Is there a reason to swap out anything here? I think it's worth keeping, as we can EQ spam soon. But knockoff is just a better lock. What would be scary here? Scale shot, pump, just picks up a KO. I don't want to go. We're gonna knock off. We're gonna take our damage here. We're gonna stop this guy from being able to switch out. I think. If he's gonna stab, we're gonna stop that. Okay. So we're gonna pick up another KO with this crook here. We're in a good spot with this guy. We're in a really good spot. We're gonna KO that Falkia. A little bit of aggressive play there, but I don't have a swap in that thing. My only swap is like Quack, but I don't actually threaten Quack. So this is gonna be Fairy Torn coming out. Therian, Fairy. He has to be pretty offensive to kill me here. I'm just gonna gem. We're gonna see Terra come out, but we're keeping this guy low. Some good chip. Citrus, okay. You know, okay, so that's gonna be another kill for Crook. So this is gonna be the sack. E-Train comes out, okay. Trying to flame body me? Flame body me, bro. Okay, he's dead. Ogre Pawn, I think we KO. Yeah, he's like super dead. We're gonna pick up a 5-0 win there. Ground types put in a big showing. Uh, I mean, there's not too much to say. He definitely he didn't play bad. I couldn't play around with Palkia. Um, I giving that if that thing got the sub up, I'm in a horrible spot. I didn't think of sub too much. I don't think I saw sub, um, in Mox, but Hunter brought Scale Shot Palkia last week. He might have had sub too, but Rein does really like sub Palkia. He's ran like Hydro, Spatial Ren, Scale Shot subsets before. So I don't want to let him get the free sub up. I did a lot of damage. If he put his extra bulk in this mid F2, I had a chance to KO. And from that position, I could have just won with Mence. If he KO'd, because he never killed Mence with a hit. So yeah, that's gonna be it for me today. We're gonna pick up a big 5-0 win there off of the back of Crocodile. He finally did something this season. Didn't do much there at the beginning. I did good week 1, but nothing like this week. But that's gonna be it for me today. I will see you all next time. Peace.